Hello there, this is John Tayer, and I welcome you to another edition of Chamber Chat, which is our opportunity at the Boulder Chamber to reach out to the Boulder business community to talk about all the work that we're doing on behalf of our businesses, our economy, and our community during this difficult COVID-19 response period. I'm going to be joined today by my great friend and the chair of the Latino Chamber, Pete Salas. We're going to have a conversation about some important response issues. But before I do that, I want to just chat with you just about some of the work that we've been doing this week and the opportunities for information sources that hopefully are helpful to you, your business, and your workforce. So first of all, on April 28th, we will have one of our Lunch and Learn series at-home webinars. This one will be called You're Not Alone, and it's focused on the needs of our gig workforce, our solopreneurs, and our independent proprietors. Those are individuals that are very important to our business community, and we want to make sure that you know what federal resource services and local resources are available to you. We will have the Executive Director of the Department of Labor and Employment joining us, as well as representatives from the Small Business Development Center and the City of Boulder. So please tune in. Again, that's April 28th at noon. In addition, we've been trying to make sure that we supply our different business communities or different industry sectors with important information about best practices for their operations during this time to protect the health of their workforce as well as their clients. And we worked with the Boulder Business Response and Recovery Alliance to develop two new tools for our construction industry and the restaurants that allow them to know what those best practices are for their workforce so they can communicate that to them, but also that they can post at their work sites for their customers and clients. So you can find those documents on the Boulder Chamber website, boulderchamber.com, COVID-19. Again, check those documents out. They'll protect your workforce and your customers. Really useful tools. So now I get the chance to talk with my great friend, Pete Salas, who again is the chair of the Latino Chamber. And one of the issues that has been very important, concerning to us at the Boulder Chamber, and I know for our community, is the difficult challenge that we have with the, what I would say, unbalanced impact of the COVID-19 virus from a health perspective, as well as from an employment perspective for our workforce. And Pete, I think, and the Latino Chamber have been leaders in helping us understand those issues, as well as helping all of us to respond in an equitable fashion to the needs of our entire business community. So I want to turn it over to my good friend, Pete Salas, to share some of the insights that he has on the disparate impacts of the COVID-19 virus and some of the things that the Latino Chamber is doing to help us all respond to those additional challenges. Pete.
Thanks, John. First of all, just really appreciate time on the program and appreciate the partnership that we have with the Boulder Chamber. And it's been a good partnership we've developed. It's gotten stronger over the last year or two. And we also have partnerships with the other chambers. Part of our task is to reach out and to support the Latino business community, which, as you know, is one of the fastest growing parts of our business community in the United States. We believe that we are uniquely positioned to do that. Currently, with the COVID-19 situation, the Latino business community, as well as employers and general community, are disproportionately impacted by everything. And in that regard, our role has been magnified. There's a lot of information out there that we need to get out to our community, to our businesses. To that end, we are offering to post all the information that comes on at our website as well as our Facebook page. We are working diligently to make sure that information is translated that comes through. Even we talked this last week about webinars, and you mentioned a webinar. We need to make sure that these webinars, which are highly beneficial to the business community, are translated, or at least we're able to at least convey that information, maybe with subtitles or other things. So we're working on that. We're also working with other organizations, agencies in the community that serve the Latino population, because a lot of the questions we get come from people who otherwise seem unconnected. Maybe they're in human services, they get a question on, you know, my uncle owns this business or is employed, how can we help them? So that's our role, and we are uniquely situated to fulfill that role. And that's generally what we're trying to do. We're working with all of you to get the information out, to put it in our community. So that's primarily what we're doing. We have a membership base that is very interested, and part of that disproportionate impact is that the reality is that we have a lot of businesses that may not survive. So our role is to make sure that we do as much as we can to help them survive this and to come back strong. So basically that's it. I encourage people to come to our website. We post information. We're working with others. We're connecting the dots in our community to make sure that we are as well informed as the general public.
Pete, I thank you so much for the partnership and the work the Latino Chamber is doing with all of us, again, to address those disparate impacts that you mentioned. It is an important and valuable partnership. I also will note that I really appreciate one of the guiding messages from the Latino Chamber, and I just read it here from your website. Let's make the best of this downtime and think forward. And that is a message I think all of us can take to heart. These are challenging times, but we're going to get through it, and we're going to get through it together by partnership and collaboration. So thank you for that partnership, Peter. Again, just to remind our viewers, we are having this special webinar, You Are Not Alone, April 28th, and it's focused on the needs of our gig workforce, our solopreneurs, our independent contractors. Make sure to tune into that. And then also check out those resources I mentioned of best practices for our construction business and our restaurants. That's on our Boulder Chamber website. And I also want to acknowledge that this is Volunteer Week. So I want to thank especially the Boulder Chamber volunteers, and in particular, our ambassador crew. They are such great partners and friends of ours at the Boulder Chamber in serving the needs of our members. So happy Volunteer Week. And as I always conclude these chamber chats, make sure a priority is stay healthy, but also stay cool. We are going to get through this. We're all in together. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week on Chamber Chat.